Swadika, thank you for joining us on Newsline. We're broadcasting live on NBT, Radio Thailand FM 88, and on NBT World. Happy New Year. It's Thursday, January 1st of 2015, and you're with me, Sandra Hanutsaha. His Majesty King Bhumibol Adulyadej urged the Thai people to be determined in their actions, upright, and think carefully with great prudence so that their actions would result in sustainable happiness and prosperity. The royal message was read in a nationwide broadcast on radio and television on New Year's Eve. In the message, His Majesty said uprightness and prudence would bring what Thais were doing to fruition, leading to genuine happiness and sustainable prosperity, both for themselves and for the country. His Majesty sent good wishes to the people and also cited the power of the triple gems and sacred objects to protect them with auspicious blessings. The triple gems consist of Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Buddha means the enlightened one. Dharma stands for the Lord Buddha's teachings, or the eternal truth of Buddha's teachings. And Sangha symbolizes the community who have gained realization or any stages of awakening, and the community of ordained disciples. His Majesty also granted the 2015 New Year's greeting card to the Thai people. The card depicts a picture from the Mahachanok storybook, which was written by His Majesty the King. In the card, His Majesty grants a royal wish, saying, "May all have true perseverance, wisdom, and complete health." Beneath it is the royal blessing, "May everyone have happiness and prosperity," followed by "Happy New Year." At the bottom of the card is the title of His Majesty's book, The Story of Mahachanok. At the bottom left is the date, time, month, and year that His Majesty created this card, while at the bottom right it reads University of Bhuthale, Mithila, 2014, and small smiling faces frame the postcard. Welcome to today's segment of Thailand Moves Forward. The government is making a full effort to raise the safety level and increase public services for the Thai people during the long holidays. According to Prime Minister's office spokesman Dr. Yongnuch Mayalap, the government has coordinated with various organizations to implement safety measures for holidaymakers around the country. Commuters leaving Bangkok via motorways are now exempted from the fee. The same holds true for those traveling on number 9 and number 7 expressways. They can enjoy this privilege until January 4th of 2015. The subway train service, the MRT, will be operated until 2 a.m. on January 1st to accommodate late-night commuters. Not to be outdone, Thai Airways International has increased its luggage weight limit by 10 kilograms for all destinations, but those bound for the United States. And the Ministry of Interior has meanwhile set up an accident prevention center in every province aimed at reducing road casualties. A large crowd of Pisnulog Buddhists last night joined the year's end prayer session at the Siratana Mahathat Warat Mahavihan temple, locally known as Wat Yai. Others participated in a major countdown near the Chom Nan Chalerm Praket Garden. More than 5,000 Buddhists donning white prayed marathon together from late evening of yesterday to the early hours of today. The year's end prayer session, considered a felicitous activity during the New Year celebration, is believed to bring good luck and fortune all year round to those who participate. Meanwhile, in another part of the city, the Chomnan Chalerm Praket Garden last night was filled with a huge number of residents partaking in the countdown event. Organizers lighted up the sky with about 500 sets of fireworks, stunning the crowd of some 20,000 event-goers with awe. The fair also hosted some 300 food vendors, offering attendees a wide variety of cuisine. Locals of Phang organized a modest New Year celebration, with highlights being a small group get-together for feast parties and the year's end prayer session. Several houses in the province can be seen holding house parties. The municipal of Mueang Phang also set up stalls for almsgiving this morning. Meanwhile, the famous local Prachum Yoti Temple hosted the year's end prayer session while preparing for the flower almsgiving scheduled for today's early hours. Various stores also held get-together parties for their employees and employers, tightening bonds between the two while boosting morale for the latter, for the employees, for the upcoming working year. The Ministry of Culture has launched a parade of buses in its project to facilitate those who will travel to make merit at 9 temples during the New Year festival, and the ministry also invited Thais to chant Buddhist holy stanzas on New Year's night at their nearby temples. Minister of Culture Wira Ropojanarat presided over the launch of the merit-making bus parade at the National Museum in Pranakon District. The 9 temples include Wat Prachetupon Wimon Mangkalaram, Wat Arun Racha Wararam, Wat Racha Orot Saram, Wat Racha Bopit Satit Mahasimaram, Wat Racha Radit Satit Mahasimaram, Wat Sutate Wararam, Wat Bawani Ved Wihan, Wat Benjamabapit, and Wat Praram Gao Ganchana Pisek. The vehicles used in the project are air-conditioned buses from the Bangkok Mass Transit Authority. They will offer free rides to the 9 temples until the 4th of January 2015. Director General of the Department of Religious Affairs, Grisiyapong Siri, said more people participated in religious activities this year. On the 1st of January, the department and all temples nationwide will arrange almsgiving and other religion-related activities so that Thai people could make merit together on New Year's Day, he said. Bangkok's central train station has been bustling with passengers waiting to board the trains to go home. Hundreds of passengers have crowded the hall of Hualampong Station, waiting for the trains to take them back to their hometowns for the long holidays. Tickets have reportedly been booked well in advance, as they would become scarce during the holiday season. The State Railway of Thailand has dispatched a team of police officers and security staff to the train station to assure safety for passengers. And looking back at the past year, we'll give you a timeline of the main workings of the National Reform Council, or NRC, and many of its proposals. And Kun Jetana Gunther has this story.
Looking back in the past year, we will give you a timeline of the main workings of the National Reform Council and many of its proposals. The interim constitution establishes a body called the National Reform Council, or the NRC, to implement reforms. The NRC has no more than 250 members. 76 members represent the 76 provinces. 1 member represents Bangkok, and the others represent 11 fields of reform. All of them are handpicked by the NCPO and appointed by the King. The Election Commission, or the EC, reported the total number of applicants at 6,729. The National Council for Peace and Order approved the final list of the 250 members of the NRC on September the 29th, and the members were royally endorsed on October the 6th. The Reform Council met for the first time on October the 21st and elected Dr. Tianchai Giranan as the president of the NRC, Bawon Sak Wanno and Dr. Tassana Buntong as the first and second vice presidents, respectively. NRC President Tian Chai pledged to promote the public's voicing of its opinions on various matters towards the NRC. He also vowed to work towards a successful and efficient reform of the nation, which would involve reducing economic, social, and political disparities while improving on the efficiency of all work processes. The NRC then held a secret ballot election to select 20 of its members to be a part of the Constitutional Drafting Committee. All NRC selected Charter Drafting Committee members would join 16 others who were selected by the National Legislative Assembly, the Cabinet, and the National Council for Peace and Order in completing the drafting process. Subsequently, on the 11th of November, the National Reform Council, or the NRC, approved the lists of members of the 18 reform committees. The 18 committees are to work on the reform in the following of politics, public administration, law and justice process, local administration, education and human resources, agriculture, industry, commerce, tourism and services, energy, public health, national resources and the environment, mass media and information technology, social affairs, community, adolescents, children, women, the elderly, the disabled, and the underprivileged, labor, corruption prevention and suppression, social values, arts, culture, ethics and religion, sports, science, technology, analysis, innovation, and intellectual property, consumer protection, and lastly, economics, treasury, and finance. The NRC then concluded a vision of Thailand in the next 20 years that focuses on ceasing economic inequality by the adjustment of finance and tax policies, the improvement of trade laws to reduce monopolies, the reorganization of agriculture and labor organizations to allow more negotiating power with the government, and a more inclusive consumer protection program. The vision aims to end education inequality by adjusting the education standards in each school to be closer, guaranteeing the opportunity for education, the rearrangement of teachers' evaluation and allowance system. In the social dimension, the goal is to improve the quality of citizens through the possession of more knowledge and morals to create a responsible community, while promoting public participation in developments in local and national levels. This directive aims to diminish corruption by placing a monitoring mechanism for various career paths of all positions in political or public agencies, while allowing the public to participate in the investigation and evaluation process of politicians and government officers. It also aims to reform the election process by limiting campaigning budget for elections, enforcing strict punishment of election fraud, as well as the reformation of the authoritative body of elections, which is the Election Commission. On economic reform, the NRC has stated that the country's capitalist system should be fair and not monopolized, achieved through the elimination of policy frauds, politics in business, and conflicts of interest. The NRC whip resolved to set up a time frame for all 18 NRC special committees as well as all related subcommittees to submit their reform proposals to the NRC by December the 10th in order for the NRC to convene on December the 15th to the 16th to consider all reform proposals before presenting them to the Constitutional Drafting Committee by December the 19th. The NRC then opened centers to gather public suggestions on national reform at Parliament and at various locations in the provinces. Members of the public were encouraged to share their thoughts and suggestions directly at the centers on a daily basis. The center is overseen by the Secretariat of the House of Representatives and other designated working groups. Later on, Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha urged units concerned to be cautious in taking care of political movements and try harder to raise understanding with Thai people and the international community. The Prime Minister emphasized the need to differentiate national reform suggestions from antagonistic comments against the NCPO. He reaffirmed that the government welcomed and would adopt constructive suggestions.
And that's the end of this New Year's Thailand Moves Forward edition. It's time for a quick break, but here's a look at the exchange rates and commodity prices first.
maintain a strong nation, Thailand is promoting 12 core values for the good of the people. First among them, to uphold the three pillars: the nation, religion, and the monarchy.
How could you do that to me? Stop it! Huh? Don't you get it? I don't need you anymore. Enough! We're through. There's someone else in my life.
Say no to the past. Bring your own bag. Say no to plastic.
Christmas very good for us. For us, it's very good. For tourists who come in Thailand, it's very good thing. I enjoy. Happy New Year for Thailand.
Happy New Year!
สวัสดีครับ
Welcome back. You're watching Newsline. Since being a military base for U.S. troops in the past, the culture learned and infrastructure established have made Udon Thani one of the best prepared provinces for the ASEAN community integration, and Panutsi Sinsap reports.
The ASEAN community is now right on our doorstep. Many provinces are ready, especially Udon Thani, one of Thailand's fastest growing cities. And today we are meeting Mr. Sawat Thiraratananukunchai, chairman of the Udon Thani Chamber of Commerce, who offers his view of Udon Thani and tells us the province has been ready for the ASEAN community for half a century.
เรื่องเราปรับตัวมานานนะครับจริงๆนี่วัฒนธรรมของคนภาคอีสานคนที่อุดรดีกว่านะครับง่ายๆคือว่าเราเนี่ยมันเหมือนเมืองแห่งการลงทุนตั้งแต่ตอนนั้นที่ประมาณ 2507 2508 เนี่ยอุดรเนี่ยเปิดให้ปีฐานทัพอเมริกันอยู่อันนี้ยังย้อนอดีตนะคนอาจจะเกิดทันกับไม่ทันแต่คนเกิดทันจะเห็นภาพว่าของอุดรเนี่ยสมัยนั้นเนี่ยมีการลงทุนในเขาเรียกว่าการลงทุนทางสงครามนะครับเพราะว่าอเมริกันมาตั้งฐานทัพที่นี่ด้วยปัจจัยว่าอุดรเนี่ยเป็นศูนย์กลางของการพุ่งรบนะครับเพราะนั้นเนี่ยเครื่องบินที่บรรจุระเบิดเสร็จแล้วก็เติมน้ำมันเสร็จแล้วก็บินไปทำสงครามด้วยว่าในอินโดจีนเนี่ยสามารถบินไปกลับได้โดยไม่ต้องเติมน้ำมันระหว่างทางมันก็กลายเป็นว่าอุดรเนี่ยมีความพร้อมในเรื่องนี้พอมีความพร้อมหลายๆคนก็เริ่มเข้ามามองอุดรตอนนั้นก็เกิดการที่ว่าเคลื่อนย้ายทุนขนาดใหญ่ส่วนมากก็จะเป็นทุนในคนแต่ละพื้นที่มาลงนะครับก็เลยกลายเป็นว่าเมืองอุดรเป็นเมืองใหญ่ที่มีศักยภาพในเรื่องอะไรต่างๆแล้วหลังจากนั้นที่อเมริกันกลับไปสิ่งหนึ่งก็คือว่าอุดรก็เป็นจังหวัดที่มีความพร้อมเพราะว่าโปรดักทรัพยากรอะไรเขามีไว้รอรับอยู่แล้วเพราะนั้นการจะจับจ่ายใช้สอยก็ต้องมาจับจ่ายใช้สอยที่อุดรนะครับพอเราหลังจากที่เราเปิดด่านนะครับเปิดด่านระหว่างเวียงจันทร์สิ่งที่เราของเราเข้าไปก็คือจากของอุดรที่เข้าไปในนั้นนะครับก็เข้าไปสนองตอบความต้องการของตลาดในนั้นมันก็คือเป็นอดีตเพราะนั้นเนี่ยหลังจากที่เรามองเห็นแล้วสิ่งที่มันเอามองมุมมองของการทำสงครามมายุ่งกับมาเกี่ยวพันกับทางการค้าทางยุทธศาสตร์เราก็คิดว่าเราต้องควรมาว่าเราควรจะต้องเตรียมตัวเรื่องนี้ขึ้นมานะครับเพราะฉะนั้นเนี่ยวัฒนธรรมขององค์กรเราแค่ปรับความคิดเท่านั้นเองนะครับให้ทันต่อเหตุการณ์เพราะฉะนั้น AEC เราบอกเสมอว่า AEC เราเกิดตั้งแต่สมัยสงครามอเมริกันนะครับเพราะว่าพอ AEC เปิดในสิ่งที่มันเคลื่อนย้ายของเรียกผู้คนนะครับสมัยนั้นเราจะเจอคนอเมริกันเจอคนไต้หวันเจอฟิลิปปินส์แต่ต่อไปมันก็จะเจอความหลากหลายที่อันเดียวกันนะครับเพียงแต่ว่าจะมีสัญชาติมากขึ้นเชื้อชาติมากขึ้นอะไรทำนองนั้นนะครับสิ่งที่คิดว่าอุดรมีความพร้อมแล้วก็คนอุดรวันนี้เรารับรู้เราหอการค้าก็เองก็ทำหน้าที่ในการเป็นกระบอกเสียงว่า AEC เปิดเราไม่ต้องทำอะไรนะครับเราเพียงแต่ว่าเราทำเรื่องเดิมมาเป็นเรื่องใหม่นั่นเองนะครับตรงนี้
And elsewhere in the world, an estimated 1.5 million people lined Sydney Harbour for a New Year's Eve fireworks spectacular last night. This year's theme, Inspire, exploded with 7 tons of fireworks on the Harbour Bridge, the Sydney Opera House, barges on the water, and at different locations around the city. According to organizers, the pyrotechnics display, which began the second the nation entered 2015, consisted of around 11,000 shells, 100,000 individual effects, and 25,000 shooting comets at a cost of 6.8 million Australian dollars. They also estimated that as many as 1 billion people around the world would watch the display that was accompanied by music. Australian actor Jack Thompson was creative ambassador for this year's display. Meanwhile, in Dubai, the world's largest LED facade lit up Dubai's Burj Khalifa on New Year's Eve last night, alongside a spectacular fireworks display watched by large crowds. A countdown on the side of the Burj Khalifa welcomed in the new year and triggered an impressive fireworks display that was carefully choreographed with the record-winning LED display. According to a press release from Emaar Properties, the LED display consisted of 70,000 LED panels and was adjudicated by a team from the Guinness World Records during preparations. The Burj Khalifa is record-breaking in its own right as the world's tallest building, standing at an impressive 2,717 feet. And that's it for today's edition of Newsline. For any comments or suggestions, please feel free to email them to us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook by simply typing in NNT, and you can check out our website at thainews.prd.go.th/newsing. We're going to say goodbye with some footage of fireworks at Central World to celebrate the arrival of 2015. I'm Sandra Han Utsaha. From all of us at Newsline, Happy New Year. สวัสดีค่ะ
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a